Hello students, welcome back to my channel Lightup Knowledge and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will cover anti-climax, which is a literary device. Before moving on further, I would like to say that this topic is very important from the perspective of UGC NET English exam or GATE English entrance exam or any other entrance exam where you require English literature as a subject. We'll be learning this topic thoroughly from its meaning, associated glossaries, and examples drawn from the most celebrated authors of English literature. So, it's a request to my students to watch this video completely. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. What is anti-climax? Anti-climax is non-derogatory. So let's understand what do we mean by non-derogatory statement. A non-derogatory statement is a statement which is not intended to insult or harm anyone, okay, with intention, and denotes a writer's deliberate drop. Deliberate drop means intentional drop, okay. He's intending to drop a tone, and that kind of tone is, so he's starting from a very serious tone and very high and exalted tone, okay, and then as the sentences as the phrases or the words exceeds, it goes from higher to lower. So from serious and elevated style of writing, the author drops that style and eventually exceeds to something trivial, something very low in order, and that he is doing to achieve a particular comic or satirical effect. So basically, satirical effects are the effects which the writer or the poet uses to in a humorous tone or in a very serious tone in order to insult someone, especially someone's foolishness, etc. So basically, what do we get of anti-climax is that it is a kind of sentence in which the last part expresses something lower than the first, okay. So it is just the opposite of climax. It is a sudden descent from higher to lower. If you see this example here, he was remarkable for commanding intelligence, perfect virtue, and above all, a snub nose. So he had a slightly tilted nose. So in the first phrases, the writer has described the person to be remarkable, commanding intelligence, and having a good virtue, but he ends up with such a negative statement about it, that he has a snub nose. Let us have a look at some features of anticlimax. The first one is a series of ideas or words presented. So, anticlimax, a sentence which is having an element of anticlimax, would have a lot of ideas in a single statement. Okay, so there's a series of idea and words that are presented. The next point is the most impressive idea or word comes first. Of course, because we know that it is a pathetic declension from higher to lower, because the author goes on describing from a very exalted tone to a very trivial tone, from a higher tone to a lower tone. That's why it is an organization of such an idea in which the impressive thought comes first. The third point is the least impressive idea or word comes last. So the idea which is of least importance and which carries words being trivial, so these ideas are presented at the last. So it starts from an exalted idea, an elevated idea, and it goes on with the exceeding description of an idea which is trivial, which is low, which is less exalted than the former. The next point is there is a sudden fall from the most impressive word. Most impressive, the best word in its description of the sentence or an idea, to the least important idea or a low level of excitement. For example, the phrase starts with a tone which has excitement in it, importance in it. It is exalted, it is dignified, but slowly when the phrases goes on in an exceeding tone, the last would be of the least importance. So therefore, these were all the features of anti-climax, okay, in which the ideas are presented from higher to lower. It is a kind of pathetic declension in its tone. Let us now discuss some classical examples of anticlimax that we have from literature. So the first example is by the great author Mark Twain, and he describes the following sentence: the holy passion of friendship is of so sweet and steady and loyal and enduring a nature that it will last through a whole lifetime if not asked to lend money. You observe this sentence very closely, very precisely, you'll get to know that the author has made a pathetic declension. The way he leads his expression from higher to lower makes us realize that it happens to be one of the best examples of anti-climax. Okay, so passion of friendship is described that it is sweet, it is steady, it is loyal, it's enduring, and it will last a lifetime, but on a condition that if you will not ask for your friend for to your friend for money. Okay, so if not asked for money, everything goes fine. So he is ridiculing the friendship here. Okay, so basically in this instant the reader might expect a sentence to end with the expression of the friendship's eternal loyalty, but however Mark Twain here finishes by devaluing the relationship compared to the love of money. So everything would go fine if not asked for money. So this happens to be a beautiful example of anticlimax. The next example is uh, what female heart can gold despise, what cats averse to fish. So here this is basically a mock epic, and the work is ode to the death of favorite cat, written by Thomas Gray. It is a mock epic where the cat had drowned. Okay, the cat had drowned when she tried to catch a goldfish. So therefore he Thomas Gray gravely inserts his moral observation in these following line and brings us a beautiful example, again a beautiful example of anti-climax that we have. So anti-climax, what happens here, we have an exalted tone, and that exalted tone reaches through a trivial tone as the sentence exceeds. Another beautiful example is from William Wordsworth's work, and that work is Simon Lee, the Old Huntsman. Let's read it. But oh, the heavy change bereft of health, strength, friends, and kindred. See, old Simon to the world is left in livered poverty, his master's dead, and no one now dwells in the hall of Ivor. Men, dogs, and horses all are dead, he is the sole survivor. Few months of life has he in store, and he to you will tell, for still the more he works, the more do his weak ankles swell. So this is a beautiful example of an event describing the event going from an elevated tone to a lower tone. The character here feels declension, pathetic declension. So that's a poem. This is a poem by William Wordsworth, and it is a perfect example of what Pope would call bathos. So throughout the piece, Wordsworth attempts to build a great sympathy in the reader for the fate of Simon Lee. So we sympathize with the character Simon Lee. The poet mentions the huntsman's intense loneliness, extreme poverty, and poor health. On the subject of Simon's health, though, Wordsworth basically falls a bit of short of pulling our heartstrings when we expected to harbor such a great pity over swollen ankles. But here he had described the declension of the character of the Simon Lee, the events that goes on in his life and make him feel more miserable than before. So yes guys, that was the third example, and this example was from Old Huntsman Simon Lee, and this work is written by William Wordsworth, and brings us a beautiful example of anti-climax and makes us understand the concept more better. So yes guys, that was all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you found it useful. If you did, do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and please press that bell icon so that you can get regular updates of my videos. All the important links will be linked down in the description box below for you to check. Keep learning and keep growing.